Good morning, dear students. Welcome to Bindu Dadwal Chemistry Lessons. In our previous lecture, we did the first two steps of metallurgy, where we crushed and powdered the ore and carried out its concentration. Now the next step is conversion of the concentrated ore to its oxide form. We convert the concentrated ore to its oxide form because it's easier to reduce an oxide into metal than any other compound like sulfide or carbonate. So we can carry out this conversion by two methods. One is calcination and the other is roasting. Calcination is the process of converting an ore into its metal oxide either in the absence or limited supply of air. It is generally used for ores containing carbonates and hydrated oxides. The following changes may take place. Moisture is removed, the volatile impurities are removed, ore becomes porous and hence becomes easily workable, and water from hydrated oxides can be removed. So carbonate ores when heated will convert into oxide ore. For example, zinc carbonate, calcium carbonate, dolomite, bauxite. Water will be removed from the hydrated ore. You can also remove moisture from hematite ore. Roasting is a process of converting an ore into its metal oxide in presence of excess air. Roasting is generally done for sulfide ores. During roasting, impurities of sulfur, arsenic, phosphorus, which are volatile, are removed. On roasting, sulfur will be oxidized to sulfur dioxide, which is a gas, so it can escape. Then arsenic into arsenic oxide, phosphorus into phosphorus pentoxide. So when we roast zinc sulfide, it will get converted to zinc oxide and sulfur dioxide will be produced, which can be removed. It's a gas. Lead sulfide is converted to lead oxide. Copper sulfide is converted to copper oxide. Reverberatory furnace. In this type of furnace, the fuel does not come in direct contact with the charge. The flames are directed from the roof of the furnace on the charge, and the air can be controlled by these vents. If calcination is to be carried out, then these vents are closed. If roasting is to be carried out, then vents are opened. Such type of furnace can melt about 10 raised to power 9 kg of charge per day. The reverberatory furnace can be used for both oxidation and a reduction. In case the ore, even after concentration, still contains non-fusible impurities, that is solid earthy matter, then during reduction we add an additional substance called the flux. The flux will combine with impurities to form a fusible product known as slag. So to remove impurities, we will add flux to it. It combines with it to form slag, which is molten fusible product. Slag is not soluble in molten metal. Being lighter than the molten metal, it can be skimmed off from the surface of the molten metal. So flux is a substance which can chemically combine with gangue present in calcined or roasted ore to form easily fusible material called the slag. The fluxes are of two types, basic flux and acidic flux. If the ore contains acidic impurities, then to remove them we use basic flux like lime or limestone, magnesium carbonate, hematite, etc. So for example, silica is an acidic impurity. To remove it, we will use calcium oxide. On heating, it forms calcium silicate, which can be obtained in molten form above molten metal. Similarly, we can use calcium carbonate also to form calcium silicate. We use magnesium carbonate to form magnesium silicate. If the impurities are basic, like calcium oxide, iron oxide, magnesium carbonate is present, then to remove it, acidic flux like silica or borax can be used. So iron will react with silica to form iron silicate, slag. Similarly, basic impurity can be removed by adding silica to form calcium silicate, which is slag. Out the reduction of the oxide ore to metallic form. This is called reduction or electronation. So process of extraction of metal by heating the metal oxide with a suitable reducing agent is called thermal reduction or pyrometallurgy. Depending upon the nature of oxide and metal, the extraction of metal can be carried out by following reducing agents. To reduce oxides of iron, copper, lead, tin, zinc, magnesium, cobalt, we use carbon or carbon monoxide. For manganese, chromium, titanium, molybdenum, tungsten, we use sodium, aluminium, magnesium or hydrogen. To reduce nickel oxide to nickel, we use water gas, and metals like lead, mercury, copper are obtained by self-reduction or auto-reduction process. So reduction with carbon and carbon monoxide. Process of extraction of metal by reduction of its oxide with carbon in the form of charcoal, coke or carbon monoxide is called smelting. In this process, the roasted ore is heated with a suitable amount of carbon, coke or coal or carbon monoxide and heated to a high temperature above the melting point of the metal. So oxide with coke will form metal plus carbon monoxide. Zinc oxide, when heated with coke, will form zinc and carbon monoxide will be formed. Similarly with lead, iron oxide. Iron oxide can also be reduced with carbon monoxide. Iron gets reduced to iron and carbon dioxide is formed. Similarly, iron oxide and zinc oxide can be reduced to metals. The carbon reduction process is generally carried out in blast furnace. Reduction with hydrogen. So molybdenum trioxide is reduced in a current of hydrogen at high temperature 1270 to 1470 Kelvin to form tungsten. Water is formed. Similarly, molybdenum trioxide and nickel oxides are also reduced. Reduction by aluminium. This process is called aluminothermy. Metal oxides like chromium oxide, manganese oxide are reduced by strongly electropositive metals such as aluminium. The process is called aluminothermy. Chromium oxide will be reduced to chromium. Aluminium gets converted to alumina. This reaction is highly exothermic. The product obtained is formed in the molten state. It's also called Goldsmith thermite process. If by the similar process iron oxide is reduced to iron, the iron will be produced in molten form and can be used to weld broken parts of heavy machinery like rails and girders. So process is called aluminothermite welding. We can also reduce by sodium or magnesium or calcium. For example, titanium tetrachloride is reduced by heating with sodium at high temperature 1070 to 1170 Kelvin to form titanium. Along with it, sodium chloride is formed. Similarly, vanadium tetrachloride can be reduced to vanadium. Reduction with water gas. Nickel oxide is reduced to nickel by carefully heating in a tower at 600 Kelvin in which a current of water gas is passed. The components of water gas, both carbon monoxide and hydrogen, act as reducing agent and reduce nickel oxide to nickel. Then self-reduction or auto-reduction method. Anions associated with metal help in reduction in this process. For example, sulfide of lead, mercury and copper can be reduced by auto reduction. The metal sulfide is heated in air to bring about the conversion of part of the sulfide ore into its oxide. So mercury sulfide, when heated in air, some of it will get converted into mercury oxide. This mercury oxide will react with the remaining mercury sulfide to form mercury. Similarly, copper sulfide forms cuprous oxide. Copper sulfide plus cuprous oxide will form reduced copper. Process is again carried out in a reverberatory furnace. Kroll process is a process in which rutile ore like titanium dioxide is mixed with carbon and heated to about 900 degree Kelvin, and a current of chlorine is passed. So titanium dioxide plus carbon plus chlorine will form titanium tetrachloride. This titanium chloride and other volatile chlorides will be separated by continuous fractional distillation. Then this titanium tetrachloride is reduced by passing it in vapor state over magnesium, heated to 800 to 850 Kelvin in a stainless steel resort. So titanium tetrachloride gets reduced to titanium, and the process is called Kroll process. That's all in today's video. Thank you. Have a nice day.